If you have more than one user logging into a single computer, and any of those users are under the age of majority, you might want to consider using parental controls to control things like the amount of time they can spend on the computer or on a specific program, or the ratings for the games that they're allowed to access, and so on. They're called parental controls, and we access them from the control panel here under User Accounts and Family Safety. Next, we'll click Parental Controls. Now from here, you'll see a list of the various user accounts on the computer. If you want to set up controls for someone who's not on this list, you actually have to create a brand new account for them. There's also options down below for Windows Live Family Safety, something we're going to talk about in the chapter dealing with Windows Live Essentials. So if you've installed that, you might see a little prompt here and there. But let's go to manipulate the parental controls for our kids account. If you've got another account that you can work with and follow along with me, great. Otherwise, sit back and just watch and learn. Notice this little window that pops up for Windows Live Family Safety Filter. And if I wanted to, I could log in with my Windows Live ID at this point and get those additional options. But like I said, we're going to talk about them later on. So we'll just close this window up. If you haven't installed Windows Live Essentials, you won't even see it. And this is the screen you'll see in Control Panel. Here's where we set up how kids, in this case, will use the computer. That's because we selected the user account called Kids. So first thing we need to do is turn on parental controls. That gives us access to the various Windows settings, as well as these options on the right for time limits, game ratings, and program limits. Let's start with time limits. We want to limit the amount of time or when they can actually log into the computer. So we'll choose off by clicking it. If you see a message dealing with FAT drives, that's because you've got a drive that's been formatted using this type of partition. And if you wanted to control any of the games installed on a FAT partition, you actually have to convert it to an NTFS. But if you don't see that, great. Otherwise, just keep that in mind when it comes to game ratings. Right now, we're just talking about when the kids are going to be allowed to use this computer. So right now, the white blocks that we see across the board means that they are allowed to use it at any time. Well, let's go in and block some time. Perhaps they should be doing homework from 7 until 8 on weekdays. So we'll go over here to the right-hand side in the PM, and we'll click next to Monday between 7 and 8. We'll do the same for the rest of the weekdays. So now they're blocked from logging in. If they try to log in during those times, they'll be denied access. And if there's any other time that you want to make sure they're not logging in, let's see some of these late hours, you can also just click and drag to speed it up. There we go. And when you're done, click OK. And then you've set up the time limit. So you'll notice it now appears as on. Game ratings, if we click off, can kids play games? Yes. We can set game ratings by using this link. And we can choose to block or allow specific games. Now, I don't happen to have anything installed here in the way of games, so it doesn't apply. But here's where you go to select the various games and set up game ratings. So we'll click OK. Program limits as well. If we click off here, kids can use all programs as the default, or you can choose to allow your kids to only use the programs that you decide on. So you can see it's going to take a while here to locate all of the different programs that are installed. And all you have to do is go through them and check off the ones that you think that they should be allowed to use. So I'm just going to scroll down here to PowerPoint, select it, and OneNote, and Microsoft Access, and click OK. Now those are the programs that can be used, not the ones that can't. Now our status is changed to on, and we've limited the actual programs that they're able to access. So here we've got time limits, games, allow and block, the exact same thing. Clicking these takes you to the exact same spot as clicking on or off on the right-hand side. So you can make changes from here as well. I'm going to add some more and click OK. When you're done, click OK. And you've got your parental control set up for the selected user account. You can now go to other user accounts and repeat the process, or simply close up Control Panel if you're done working with parental controls.